Hi everyone. If you can hear me, just type in the chat. I hear you, so that we are sure we can hear you. We'll be starting in a moment. Apologies for a few minutes of delay. We would have our reps from Watson joining us in a moment. Angelique and Maria will join us very soon. But just indicate where you are joining us from. I see a number of people. Bashino, welcome. Zrikana, welcome. Hey, Angelique. Unmute and let me hear you.
Yes, sorry. Hello, everyone.
Hello. It's good to have you here. Apologies for the little delay. We just had a small technical hiccup. I would want you to just share your slides in a moment, and as we wait for Maria to join us. So, guys, since you're joining us already, just get ready. We are about to talk about two very important flagship or two very important opportunities fellowships from Watson Institute, and I know you're going to enjoy it so much. Our listeners from Nigeria, our listeners in Asia, our listeners in America, the UK, just know that this is for you. All right. So just hang in there, give us a moment, and we're going to be sharing these opportunities with you right away. Omari, it's good to have you from Tanzania. Wow. But July, Nigeria. How na day, bros? I'm just glad we have all of you joining. All those joining on YouTube, it's good to have you. Facebook is good to have you. Anywhere you're joining from, and just share it with friends and others who are here, so that those who are interested in those who are concerned with these opportunities we are about to talk about, and so that they would also benefit from it. Hi, Maria. It's good to have you. Unmute.
Hi, everyone.
It's good to have you here. Sorry, we had a small technical hitch.
Oh, yeah.
But it's good you're back here with us. Angelique will be sharing her screen in a moment, and we'll just be going. But yes, we are talking about two very important opportunities from Watson Institute. And I would want to just maybe say a few things whilst we are just starting. Well, we'll be talking about the Western Union Fellowship, and it's a very unique fellowship that has been running for some years now, and the Western Union Global Fellowship Program, and it's focused on those who are change makers for displaced and marginalized communities. And Angelique will be talking about it in a moment. Angelique, are you ready to share?
Absolutely. I will share my screen right now. And would you like me to go ahead and get started as well?
Very well, you can.
Sounds Great. Thank you so much, Isaac, and the Opportunities for Youth team for having us here today. We are very excited from Watson Institute to share these amazing opportunities with all of you. My name is Angelique Newhouse, and I'm here with my colleague, Maria Pamela. We are both a part of the admissions team at Watson Institute. Today, we're going to share insights into two of our prestigious impact fellowships, the application process, and some key tips to help you succeed. So, before we dive into everything, I would love to hear where you're all joining from today. And I know some of you have put that in the chat already. As a fun icebreaker, how many languages you speak? Let's see. It's amazing to see. We have people from all over the world: Argentina, Nigeria, Uganda, South Sudan, Kenya. Amazing. Thank you for sharing 3 languages. Wow. I love that. Okay. This program exists because we truly believe that the people closest to the challenges, local leaders, community organizers, grassroots entrepreneurs, are also the ones best equipped to solve them. Our role is to amplify that power. We do that by bringing together resources from major partners like Western Union and combining them with Watson Institute's experience supporting over 4,000 change makers around the world. Together, we're creating an ecosystem where local solutions can thrive and scale. Watson Institute alumni have created over 1,900 jobs, collectively raised over $185 million in capital, and have been selected to Forbes 30 Under 30, Y Combinator, Echoing Green, just to name a few. Watson Institute aims to impact 10,000 entrepreneurs over the next 3 years. Through the impact fellowships that we power, entrepreneurs are able to unlock new growth opportunities and scale their impact. Okay, let's dive into the Western Union Global Fellowship Program. This impact fellowship is designed to empower entrepreneurs and community leaders who are addressing challenges faced by migrants and refugees, marginalized communities. The Western Union Global Fellowship Program is an intensive venture and leadership development program. Okay, this fully funded virtual program equips fellows, participants, with the skills, networks, and resources needed to accelerate their ventures and create meaningful change. A core part of the fellowship is supporting community based impact. So each fellow receives $1,000 to facilitate what we call a base camp, which is a 1 to 3 day event hosted in your own community to help create this massive ripple effect of impact. It's designed to drive innovation and collaboration within each of your local communities. So let's take a quick pause here to reflect. I encourage you to answer in the chat. What is your why? What drives you to work in the social impact space? Amazing. Oh, wow, we have lots of multilingual guests here today. Yeah, feel free to share in the chat with us just what drives you, what social impact is important to you, or why it's important. We'd love to hear that. Okay, so let's dive into the dates and details. Now that we've outlined the mission of the fellowship, here are the key dates and components. The fellowship itself officially begins with a 2-week, what we call immersive, where fellows engage in deep learning, connect with tools and resources, and participate in virtual sessions led by experts in their fields, known as preceptors. These first 2 weeks will require a time commitment of roughly 10 to 15 hours per week. The core fellowship program lasts for 14 weeks with virtual sessions on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Please don't feel like you need to write down or remember all of these dates and details. I'll give you the link in the chat, and our website has everything listed out for you. Again, we mention the base camp here as it's a very exciting core component of what we do at Watson Institute. Another core component, which you might not see on the website, is the community aspect of it all. Year after year, program after program, we see the participants, the fellows, become friends, partners, colleagues. They're a part of each other's networks long term, and it's a really beautiful thing. So it's absolutely a core component of what we do at Watson Institute. Lastly is the virtual summit. So this is the culminating event where we get to recognize and celebrate every single fellow who completed the Western Union Global Fellowship Program. And select fellows actually have an opportunity to present their ventures to this global audience. The last Western Union Summit had almost 900 participants in attendance. These are global thought leaders and change makers and potential investors and team members. Western Union is there. It's an absolutely incredible opportunity. Okay, so quick reflection here. If you were to host a base camp, what is one challenge in your community that you would want to address? With this base camp event, we have a lot of fellows who choose to identify a social issue in their communities and use the base camp as a way to combat them. So I would love to hear in the chat, what's one issue in your community that you would really aim at solving? And thank you all so much for sharing your why in the chat as well. It's very powerful to see why you do what you do, truly. So I'd love to hear your base camp ideas as well. As we move on, as you think of those ideas and put them in the chat, I want to share with you a little bit about some notable Western Union Global Fellowship Program alumni. One of the most powerful indicators of this program's impact is the incredible work our alumni are doing around the world. Together, they've raised over $8 million in capital, trained over 300,000 people, and reached over 10 million individuals with their initiatives, ranging from digital literacy and refugee advocacy to clean energy and mental health. Some standout examples include the Boomerang in the US, which bridges the digital divide for older adults and people with disabilities. Discovering New Artists in Pakistan, which has impacted over 150,000 marginalized youth through creative education. And Via Eresmar in Mexico, a new venture supporting safe and informed migration for refugee communities. These are just a few of the many leaders who are creating lasting change through this fellowship. Now, it is my absolute pleasure to hand it over to my colleague, Maria Pamela, who will share with you about the Watson Institute Flagship Fellowship. Maria, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Angelique. That was awesome. So yes, thank you. And just hello to everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you and thank you for joining. Like Angelique said, I'll be telling you about the Flagship Fellowship and I'm just excited to dive right in. So the goal of the Flagship Fellowship is really to equip impact-driven entrepreneurs to achieve product market fit and not only help them scale their ventures, but to do so sustainably and realistically. The programming includes a couple of great features that I'd love to highlight. Not only do we have access to an incredible global network of entrepreneurs and community leaders, we also have that award-winning education and training that's really designed to strengthen not only the critical business skills that are necessary to scale, but also those leadership skills that are necessary. We also have some mentorship opportunities from seasoned professionals, venture capitalists, and executives. And really just going back to this global network, this offers an incredible opportunity for embedding all of these incredible people that are in our network throughout the programming, whether it's through these mentorship opportunities or even just connecting with some alumni that are scattered all over and globally. I know Angelique mentioned that a couple of things about the alumni, but I just want to highlight that I think cumulatively now, the fellows that have gone through our programming are impacting over 10 million people. And before, wait, can we go back one before we switch to this one, Angelique, really quick? I just want to hit on some of the focus areas that we're looking for in the entrepreneurs that we want to put through the programming. Some of those are just environmental sustainability, whatever that looks like. There's some renewable energy. There's youth empowerment, tech, not only education, but just tech-focused entrepreneurs, social impact, and just anything addressing the impacts of climate change, and a couple more, but just wanted to highlight those. Okay, now I'm ready to rock. Thank you, Angelique. As for where we are recruiting the entrepreneurs from, the fellowship is open globally with preferences to the countries that you see listed here. In addition, just in terms of some timeline and the programming, the fellowship consists of 16 weeks of programming starting August 18th to November 25th. And like Angelique said, don't worry about remembering all of these details. You will have access to this information afterward. But yeah, let's dive into it. So August 18th to November 25th, it's 16 weeks. The first week, which is August 18th to August 22nd, will be an in-person immersive, which I'm going to circle back to in a second. And then we switch to virtual programming for the remaining 15 weeks. The application deadline is June 22nd, but considering that we take applications on a rolling basis, we really encourage you to apply as soon as possible. The sooner you are on our radar, the better. And now circling back to the in-person immersive, like I mentioned, it's a week-long action-packed week designed for impact-driven entrepreneurs. It kicks off in Boulder, Colorado, and it really just offers a unique opportunity to connect with the fellows that you're going to be going through your programming with. You get to engage or begin to engage with our network of mentors and preceptors, which is what we call our in-house educators, and just really begin to receive the valuable guidance from the experienced entrepreneurs who are in our network, who are involved with Watson, because they're ultimately eager to support the growth and improvement of these impact-driven entrepreneurs. And during the immersive, just to highlight some other things, they get to stay in the same hotel together. You go on a hike to Chautauqua. You have the opportunity to connect some alumni. Some funders are local as well. And ultimately, we just believe it's a great opportunity to not only get a sense of what the Watson Institute community looks like, but also to begin forming your own connections within that network. After that, we'll switch to the virtual programming, as I mentioned, for the remaining 15 weeks. And that will be Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, weekly virtual workshops from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Mountain Time. And we realistically cushion about 8 to 10 hours per week of time commitment so that you really know the time commitment that it would take for you to really get the most out of this opportunity. Okay. Now, let's talk about some of the alumni. So here are two notable alumni from last year's Flagship Fellowship. They not only demonstrate the commitment to create impact in the communities that they serve, but also a channeled passion to really tackle challenges in their own entrepreneurial ways. We have Michelle here, who founded Green Gather, and its event management platform dedicated to transforming how events are planned, managed, and executed to be able to address the environmental degradation caused by unsustainable practices. On the other side here, we have Rin, who founded Virtual Oasis Tech, and she empowers diverse neurodivergent minds and marginalized individuals through creativity and knowledge sharing to drive positive environmental change. So, You can learn more on our website. We have them all listed. But really, I just love to highlight these two because they show the range and the possibilities of how you can create impact and the type of entrepreneurs that we support. But yeah, that's really all about the Flagship Fellowship. If I'm able to, I'll send a link in a second so that you guys can have access to our landing page. But if not, you will have access to it right after this. But yeah, that's the Flagship Fellowship. Please share your thoughts, comments. I look forward to reviewing them. As for application process and tips, and this applies both to the fellowships that Angelique spoke to and that I spoke to. We just want to give you some points, some things to keep in mind as you go through the application. So the application pretty much takes about 30 minutes to complete. Like we mentioned, the priority deadline is June 22nd. However, for Flagship Fellowship, it's June 22nd, and for Western Union, it's July 1st. However, like I mentioned, I am a broken record. Apply as soon as possible. The sooner you are on the radar, the better. And yeah, I can't say it enough. After reviewing, the applicants that come in, selected candidates that we think might be a good fit will be invited to a 20-minute interview. Then finalists are reviewed by our admissions team and accepted notifications are sent via email. If selected, you'll be invited to a virtual session to meet the cohort that you're going to be going through this programming with before the fellowship officially starts. But all of those details, how can I say this best? You will receive all of this information accordingly if you are selected, and we really are intentional about giving you guys as much time as possible to sort of adjust based on this selection choice. And then just some application tips. Really, when thinking about how to strengthen your application, there are a couple things that we want to keep in mind. So the first thing is program fit. Tell us your passion and motivation. This is why Angelique was, asking about the why. What is your story and what inspired you to take action in the space that you're in? Really also be very clear about the venture stage and quality of where you're at. So highlight how your venture aligns with the mission of the fellowship while simultaneously being very clear about the progress that you've made up to date. How can I say this? So I guess sometimes we receive some applications and they're really alluding to what they'd like to do. And while we do have questions that really do aim to ask you how you ultimately see your venture growing, we really want to get a great understanding of the venture stage that you're currently at right now and the progress that you've made up to date. So as clear as possible. And yeah, just clear, concise, compelling answers to showcase your impact and vision. We also have some options for external links that we encourage you, any information that really gives us a grasp of what you're doing and any visuals that can pair with it. We obviously encourage it. Other than that, again, I'm going to say it, don't wait for the deadline. We will review on a rolling basis. Here we have some barcodes we encourage you to scan if you'd like to now. But if not, like I mentioned, we're going to be following up and you can always find them on the Watson Institute website. Other than that, really, we just have some nomination and helping us spread the word. Ultimately, Angelique and I and all of the admissions team want to position this opportunity in front of the entrepreneurs that could mostly benefit from these opportunities based on where they're at globally, venture-wise, and impact-wise. So if there is someone that you'd like to nominate, maybe this isn't the right fit for you, but you thought of a friend in the space, please feel free to nominate at this link here, or just feel free to reach out to either Angelique or me. We're more than happy to take over. If there's any intros that need to be done, we're more than open to sort of adjusting, as long as we get to hear about these incredible people that are doing this work. We also, I just want to highlight, we have other fellowship opportunities. We do more than six a year almost. And so if this isn't the right fit for you, please know that there will be other opportunities down the line in the future. And currently right now we are recruiting for some other ones, but definitely wanted to highlight the incredible Western Union and Flagship Fellowship. Other than that, we're going to switch into our Q&A portion and we'd love to hear any questions that you might have for us. And thank you so much for your time. I hope to see some applications come in and I'm just excited about what's next. Thank you.
Thank you. Great, Maria. That was good. That was good. So I'm just going to begin my Q&A from you, then we move to Angelique. So specifically about flagship, the flagship fellowship. Um, it's from what I read, it's designed for those who have um, entrepreneurs whose ventures are relatively new. Can you clarify that for me?
I can. So, really, what the Watson Institute programming's special sauce is helping the entrepreneurs who are in the missing middle stage. I know that, the different fellowships sort of tailor to the different types of entrepreneurs and the different type of work that they're doing. But when it comes to venture stage, we're looking for those that are in the missing middle. And what do we mean by that? The entrepreneur has had traction. They're not necessarily in like a starter point, but they really are at a point where they have some traction, they have an existing customer base, they're providing a product or service to the community, and they want to accelerate the growth and scale that growth. So this is how I see it, right? They're here, they want to get here, and the programming is addressing that missing middle knowledge, resources, connection, and network to help them obviously scale sustainably. Angelique, I don't know if you want to add anything, but yeah.
Yeah, I would love to add to that a little bit actually, and elaborate on what the fellow profile looks like for all of the Watson Institute powered impact fellowships. So the word entrepreneur can mean a little bit of a different thing all around the world, right? So the Western Union Global Fellowship Program, for example, is recruiting from 16 different countries. That means that there is not one size fits all for communication. So this is what I want you to understand. An applicant for the Western Union Global Fellowship Program or the Flagship Fellowship is someone, an individual person who has been doing work to impact their communities in one of the ways that Maria and I described for maybe 1 to 3 years. They have a small team of support. Okay, they have some sort of impact to show. Maybe they do identify as an entrepreneur, as a social entrepreneur. Maybe they are registered. Maybe they are a nonprofit. Maybe they're not. That's okay too. So I just want to be clear on that. The criteria is not that you are a registered nonprofit or a registered LLC, maybe. The criteria really is that you are this individual in this missing middle stage. You're someone who's been doing the work for a little while, and I'm sorry to be long-winded, but this is where we see a lot of individuals drop off, a lot of businesses fail. It is hard work, and we recognize that. So our impact fellowships step in to help you bridge this gap and scale and be successful long term.
Great, thank you very much. So, Amina Abubakar, you are asking whether Nigerians are eligible for this. So, I just want to go through the countries that are eligible for each of these fellowships. So, for the Western Union Global Fellowship Program, well, the eligible applicants must reside or drive impact in any of these countries: Costa Rica, Argentina, Lithuania, the Philippines, the United States, Brazil, Uganda, Nigeria, the UK, India, Bangladesh, Mexico, Germany, Colombia, Japan, or Pakistan. This is for the Western Union Global Fellowship. And I'll just want to look through, also mention that of the Flagship Fellowship. For those who are looking to join the Flagship Fellowship, that it's open to applicants who are in countries like the US and these East African countries: Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, the Democratic Republic of Congo, South Sudan, and Brazil too in South America, and China. These countries are the eligible countries. But I did hear Maria say that it's a global one, but it's just that the focus is on these countries. So, Maria, can you just clarify the fact that it's a global fellowship everyone can apply, but these countries have been singled out.
Yeah. So yes, it is open globally. We welcome all applications, but there is some preference just on our back end or our criteria. We are keeping a special eye out for these countries listed. If you don't see your country listed here, please do not let that discourage you. Like I said, it's open globally. I will say also just something to keep in mind. Going back to the in-person immersive that I mentioned, there will be a traveling component. So we ask that in the applications, if you're not located in the US, just to be very transparent about whether you can travel to the US, if you need a visa, anything along those lines. We do have a slot in the application that allows you to go into that. So definitely just want to say that. But again, open to all. And yeah, I'm excited to review all the applications that come in.
I have
Great.
to add there to what Maria said quickly. Yes, that is such a good point. I'm glad she brought it up. These both of them, and honestly, any of our impact fellowships, please don't let preference of location discourage you. By applying to these opportunities at Watson Institute, you're joining our network. You are going to be the people who hear about the next opportunities first. You're going to be the people who hear about opportunities for earlier stage or later stage entrepreneurs who apply. So we definitely do encourage you, if this sounds like you in some way, to still apply.
All right, thank you so much. Now let's just discuss the fully funded bit. Talking about fully funded, as travel pads, visa applications, can we clarify fully funded?
So I'm gonna go first. I hope that's okay, Angelique. So just in general, all of our fellowships are fully funded. We work with corporations, foundations, our partner who helps us provide this programming of no cost to the fellows. Just going back specifically to the Flagship Fellowship, those who will be required to travel to Boulder, Colorado for the in-person immersive, once you're there, we will have hotel accommodations. Like I mentioned, it's Monday to Friday with Sunday to Saturday being covered hotel-wise. The only expense that fellows will be responsible for is the airfare to Boulder, Colorado. So something else to keep in mind. But other than that, you're taken care of after that. So definitely wanted to highlight Flagship just because, again, we do have that travel component that fellows will be responsible for. But yeah, I'll let Angelique add anything in terms of Western.
No, I think you definitely covered it there. These impact fellowships are fully funded. They are completely free to the participants. And as I mentioned earlier, include benefits such as the Western Union Global Fellowship Program, providing every single fellow with $1,000 to support impact in their community. So fully funded, no cost to you except for Flagship airfare.
Thank you. Now let's just get into the people have applied, they join in. I know you talked about it, but walk us through the opening session. What is in it there, and how can they benefit from such sessions and the online too? Just take your time. I know you presented it, but I would want you to give us the unscripted version, since you guys really know what's going on in the back, and I mean what has not been scripted and everything. So just talk to us about that.
Isaac, are you asking what the virtual programming experience is like?
To start the program, there will be an initial travel to Colorado. All right, what happens there?
Yeah, Maria, that's
Oh, for the
you.
in-person immersive. Okay. I wasn't sure
Yeah,
either what you were asking. Okay,
yeah,
so
the
just
in-person.
more
Sorry.
on the in-person immersive. Our programs team right now is working on developing an incredible schedule that I've been able to check out and see what they're planning. Really just bottom line, again, this is a great opportunity to go to where Watson Institute is not only headquartered, but where we have a significant amount of our network. So really, the in-person immersive is to immerse you in all things Watson Institute. And we'll have a couple of different activities. Like I mentioned, it's Monday to Friday with the time commitment usually being 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. generally. But I know, for example, on the day that the hike is scheduled, you'll have to wake up a little bit earlier. And then we also have, like I mentioned, some of the funders that sponsor or fund some of these slots for the fellowship are also located in Boulder, Colorado. And sometimes they invite the fellows over for dinner at their own houses. We also just have a couple of different other opportunities. We're really, the day-to-day is programmed to be as not only network stimulating to connect and also just get to know one another, but also to really dive into this space where the connection is everyone is an impact-driven entrepreneur. I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen on the day-to-day. That's still a little bit works in progress, but I hope that answers your question. We really do keep the impact driven entrepreneurs in mind and how best to, make the most of this week.
Great. Angelique, would you add anything?
No, I think that's perfect. She is the expert in Flagship Fellowship. So the only thing I think I would add is that the in-person immersive experience is truly incredible, you guys. It's amazing. I talked about the community building virtually and how close the participants get. Imagine the immersive being there together and experiencing these things. So it's incredible.
Yeah. Thank you, Angelique.
Well, I don't know who answered this question, but any of you could answer it for me. Would you want to share with us maybe a story, a story that emerged from any of these fellowships that stands out, that should be something that should attract anyone who is qualified to apply for this?
There's several. Do you want to go first, Angelique? I'm thinking of a couple. Let me gather my thoughts.
Take it
away. Okay. Well, I'll just say like one thing, and I think I did forget to mention it. I know Angelique touched on it on Western Union, the summit. We also will be having a summit for the Flagship Fellowship, and I just think it's a great opportunity, again, to put yourself out there, be in front of a huge community. I know people have walked away with some collaboration opportunities as well as like even funding. That's just another great opportunity. And then just in terms of some of the fellow stories, last time around, we were recruiting agricultural-based entrepreneurs for Walmart. And the collaboration, not only like do they get to go through this programming, but outside of the scheduled programming, you really get to see all of these fellows connect. If they're located in the same space, they get together. And just beyond that, once you graduate, there are also so many opportunities to stay involved. I feel like mine are very general. So anyway, yeah, I'll let Angelique take it from here.
Angelique?
It's hard not to be general because there are so many incredibly impactful stories. I wouldn't know where to begin, but I do want to say, if you want to hear a little bit about the fellows, the alumni, I guess I should say, check out our website. There you're going to see what they've been up to, what they did, what their ventures are, and you can connect with them on LinkedIn. Ask them, what's your story? What was your experience? And particularly if you look at our social media, Watson Institute recently shared a testimonial video from Jonathan Katendi, who is a Western Union alumni from last year, and his story is powerful. So please check it out there. That's a little bit from the individual side beyond what Maria shared.
Yeah. All right. So just maybe a last one from Maria. I see that the time commitment is just 8 to 10 hours per week. This is for the, I'm guessing this is for the online, right?
Yes. And I think, do you allot the same for Western Union, Angelique, for the virtual workshops?
Well, I'm sorry, what are you?
The time
Next question.
commitment, once we pass the immersive, do you
Oh,
also?
yes.
Yeah, okay. So I know that our
Yes.
timing, is different, but really once the regularly scheduled programming kicks in, technically it's 6 hours of virtual workshops, but really we just allot 8 to 10 hours per week because I know there's some base camp development that needs to happen. There's also some office hour availability. So we just try to cushion it a little bit so that you understand essentially what you're signing up for. But yes, 8 to 10 hours per week of time commitment once the immersive passes.
All right. So I think we need to sort out this question that is on the screen here. It looks like along the line we've mixed some things up. Of course, not to confuse anyone, but it's because of the Q&A, but the presentations were separate. What's the difference between the two fellowships? All right. So Owen, we want to answer that for you, and I think maybe both of you have to do this. So Angelique, would you want to go first?
Mhm.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And I do think Maria touched on this just a little bit as well. She talks about how the individuals applying, the entrepreneurs, however you identify, you're at this similar stage in your venture. You're at this similar stage really in your life. You've been doing the work for a period of time, have the small team of support and a little bit of impact to show. So that's where it's similar. Where it's different is the focus. Western Union Global Fellowship Program is looking for individuals who either identify as and or are impacting refugee, highly marginalized, forcibly displaced communities around the world. So your work is specifically focused towards refugees or marginalized communities. And Maria, I'll let you share what it's like, what that focus is, because really the focus is the difference.
And yes, so for Flagship Fellowship, it's a little bit more general. I'm not going to get into the details of all the criteria I need to maintain, but what's a little bit different about Flagship Fellowship is that it's the Flagship Fellowship and it's essentially made of mini fellowships throughout. Everyone receives the same programming, everyone gets the same certification, and everyone has the same expectations. But because we have different funders for the different slots, they sort of define the entrepreneur that they're looking for. And that's why it's a little bit more general in terms of the venture focus. I know earlier in the presentation, I hit on some of those focuses that are, just across the board. Again, just some youth empowerment, addressing youth unemployment, anything sustainability, anything under tech. And then just really it comes down to in Flagship Fellowship, are you impact driven? Are you creating waves in the community that you're in? And are you ultimately trying to make a difference for the better? So I know Western Union, again, is a little bit more specific, but Flagship, there is a little bit more of a generality. I think would be fair to say. And again, I know I mentioned some focus areas. I know I mentioned some locations, but these are just sort of preferences and things that we look out for. It does not mean that we exclude anything that isn't that. So again, I don't want anyone to get discouraged from applying because as long as you're creating impact in the community you're in, we want to hear about it.
Wow, thank you so much. I see a question here, and I'm not sure we're going to answer it here, but let me just read it and see. How does the Watson Institute curriculum incorporate economic analysis in addressing global challenges such as poverty, inequality, or climate change? Would you want to touch on that?
I can. Was someone speaking? Sorry, I can go first. So,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
When we're thinking about the programming that we're offering and the entrepreneurs that we're selecting, we're very intentional about selecting entrepreneurs that we ultimately believe will benefit from the programming that we're offering, as well as bringing in experts from the educator perspective to bring in their own experiences, their own knowledge, and to really address the programming. For Flagship Fellowship, we will be covering foundations, product market fit, data and metrics, funding, team management, and pitch. Again, I do think Flagship Fellowship is one of our more general ones. It's not like a specific focus. Like I mentioned last time around, it was Walmart and they were focused in agriculture. But the team is very intentional about tailoring and bringing in the necessary experience for the venture focuses. I'll let Angelique take it from here, but definitely just wanted to say that in general, we have this programming that helps entrepreneurs in the missing middle stage, but with each specification of each fellowship, we do tailor it to make sense for the entrepreneurs that are going through the programming.
That was a great answer, Maria. I think that the only thing I want to add here is that when Watson Institute partners with these organizations such as Western Union, Ford Philanthropy, etc., when we partner with them, our design and program implementation team works together to build out a curriculum. They are always iterating this, always making changes. They are learning from our vast network of individuals all around the world who are in all of these different focus areas and fields. The question's not on the screen anymore, but those who are doing the work on the ground in poverty and in climate change and in all of these different things. So we are always working to know what's happening and be teachable from these experts in these fields and incorporate that into our curriculum and program as a whole.
All right. Thank you very much. I think this was answered. Maybe a yes or no will just make it clear for us. Does the Flagship Fellowship only accept registered ventures?
So I think it really just comes down to, wait, let me think of a better way to answer this. And Angelique, correct me if I'm wrong, but really what we look at is what stage you're in and if the programming will benefit you, the business model, if you're registered or not. That sort of comes in a second tier, I guess. We don't really take anybody out from, whether it's you're registered or not, the type, because, some are for profit, some are nonprofit. We really hone it down to a case by case analysis of, are you creating impact? Are you in the missing middle stage? And do you have the time commitment to be able to fully benefit from this fellowship? I hope that answers the question.
Yes, I think it answers the question. A lot of you are asking about eligibility. I think we clarified that. You can just play back the session and you'd get the information. Or better still, just go to their website
It's
and
listed.
you have it. I've put it's listed. And of course, on opportunitiesforyou.org, we have these fellowships, information about these fellowships there. Please go and check. But she has clarified, Maria clarified, Angelique also did clarify that yes, these countries have been stated, but don't let that prevent you from applying if you believe you'd benefit from this program, or if you believe you tick all the other boxes. All right. So please do well to apply as much as long as you think it's something that's going to help you. I'm not sure we have any new questions, but is there any maybe something we've left out so far, Angelique, Maria, before we just wrap up?
I was just going to say, I welcome all questions. I had my email listed somewhere here. Please use that as a resource. I'm more than happy to sort of just answer any pending questions you might have, give you any information you might need. But yeah, I mean, other than my email and the website, yeah, that's really all I wanted to say. And just thank you so much for all of these insightful questions and for the interest in what we have to offer. And then I'll pass it to Angelique.
Well, before Angelique, your email, can you just say it out loud for us?
Yes. It's Maria Pamela, the way it's listed here, at watson.is. And if you can't remember my email or you can't find it, you can find me on LinkedIn as well.
Sure. Find her on LinkedIn. Anyway, LinkedIn is one of the platforms Opportunities for Youth is very active on, and we had a session some time ago, I think 2 months ago, just to help our followers, boost and build up their LinkedIn profile. So anyone who has not yet checked out that content, please go ahead, go on LinkedIn, and you find it in our previous videos. And of course, on YouTube to Opportunities for Youth. It's there. Angelique.
Hey, I think that that was great. I want to call out one thing. I've had the chat, the comments up here the whole time, and I've been briefly scanning them as we go through this presentation. And I just want to call out the absolutely incredible and impactful work that you all are doing around the world. Whether you choose to apply or not, the fact that you're here today and you're sharing a little bit of what you do with us is amazing. And we are truly grateful for that. As Maria said, absolutely reach out via email. We do the best that we can to personally respond to everyone. My email is just like it's spelled here in my name, Angelique at watson.is. You can also find me on LinkedIn. I try to be pretty active there. Um, More than anything, we just encourage you to reach out. Reach out if you're not sure. Apply if you are sure. And as a note, we do personally review these applications. We know that you take your time and you put a lot of heart and a lot of work into these applications, and we do personally review them. So, yeah, again, just thank you all.
Thank you. Amina, Amina Abubakar, you were asking about whether the email address from Maria is what you have there. Yes, Maria Pamela at watson.is. And for Angelique, it's Angelique at watson.is. So it's in the comment section. You can look at it. And anyone who wants to reach out to them, do well to reach out to them. And of course, Opportunities for Youth is available to you. The website is available. There are a lot more of opportunities there, apart from great opportunities, apart from these ones there. Please do just check out the websites. You'd find scholarships, you find job opportunities, you find fellowship opportunities, you'd find short courses and volunteering opportunities, conferences you can attend. Just go on social media and follow us on all those social media handles you know about, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. We are there. We are also on Blue Sky. We are on X, formerly Twitter. Do well to join us there and follow us. Every day we have new opportunities coming up, and we share new opportunities every day, an average of 20 to 30 opportunities every day, every single day. So do well to just follow us there, and you're going to enjoy it so much. Thank you so much, Angelique. Thank you so much, Maria, for joining us. It's been a pleasure, absolute pleasure. And thanks so much to the over 100 people following us on, I think over 130, over 140 people who joined us live from LinkedIn, and those who are going to watch later. We know that there are a lot of people who like to watch us later because of the time zone difference. Please do well to apply. Don't wait for tomorrow. Just apply now. The link is in the comment section. Just apply now so that you can be considered. Maria said something. Don't wait for the deadline to come. Just apply now so that your application will be seen as soon as possible, because of course there are limited number of seats on this opportunity. Thank you very much, everyone, and see you again in our next session. Bye.